What's up, everybody? Welcome in to another episode of Profit Pick. We always start this show by being transparent, and I know we didn't have any shows here on Wager Talk over the weekend. I did do one personally, but since we last talked, things were not good for me. Friday was an absolute disaster. I felt like I had some good looks. None of them worked out. I won one bet since Friday. I think I won one out of six, so not good. I've kind of been going just like this, just like this, just like this. So I need to get on one of these streaks for quite a while. And I have some coming up that I like. So we'll try to get back on track. Vino, hopefully the weekend was better for you. How are you doing here today?
I'm good, Skee. Yesterday turned out nice. You know what? I thought I was going to get 3-0 because the play I was most confident in went last. And I already had a 2-0 in the bag with the Connecticut game over the total. Barely got there, but it did get there. Came back with the Fever team total over, and the Fever scored in the 90s, so that worked. And then I had the Phoenix Mercury, and I just picked the wrong part of the game to play them. I thought they would win the first quarter. They didn't, but boy, they did win the second half. So probably should have been full game with Phoenix. Wound up being a 2-1. Nice day over the course of the weekend. Was profitable. I believe it was 4-2 overall. So we'll take it and move on to this week. See what we can do here.
I'm not gonna lie, before we even get started today, well, you know what we do on this show already. We stop the show to make money, right? So I feel like I see something on the odds screen. I just need to double check real quick. So while I do that, I'll ask you, do you have any futures on WNBA currently?
I do not. And I'm late to the party with Phoenix because I saw since the time when you bet it, it has gone down massively. I believe Phoenix is the number 3 choice now. If what I saw is correct. They just, people hit it hard. So the value you got no longer exists. So I don't have a single future in WNBA as of right now.
All right, and it's a false alarm. I thought I saw, one of those lines that is not supposed to be what it is. And I just had to double check because I'll get involved. I'll take advantage. That's what we're here to do. All right, let's go rotation order like we always do. First up is Storm and Sun. And it looks like it opened -9.5 for Seattle. It's up to 12 or 12.5. Total has come down from 159.5. Seeing it as low as 156.5. I don't see anybody on the injury report as of now, but they could be at it. I mean, it is a back-to-back for the Sun here. Tina Charles, she's a little bit older. You could see her sit, or, you never know who could sit. Marina Mabry just came back from injury. Maybe they don't want to push her on a back-to-back. Who knows? But as of now, nobody on the injury report. The Storm have been so, I want to say either iffy or inconsistent this season. It's like you just never know which team you're going to get. But one thing I'll say is they have been pretty consistent in this role right here, Rob Veno. Off a loss, and I'm going to just put this up there, and then I'll pass it to you after that. Get your thoughts on this. Off a loss on the road. You can see this, right?
Not yet.
Okay, so
it's
what
not
went wrong here? See, that's why I asked. Now you can see it.
Now we can see it, yep.
All right, so just looking at the Storm this season on the road after a loss, they've covered all 4 games. They're winning by 19.5 points per game. And you see these scores here. Only this one, they were a 1-point underdog. They ended up winning by 1. But other than that, I mean, they've been winning by a big margin. So this is one of those situations. In that last game, Skylar Diggins looked like she was pretty pissed off over there on that bench. Her leg was just tapping. If they come and play with energy and effort, they can win this game by a big margin. Do you think they'll do it here today, Rob Veno? Has the line moved too much?
Yeah, it's funny, Skee, that we've seen. This will be the 4th back-to-back that we've seen in the last 4 days. Seems like we're getting one of these a day, and the money has consistently pointed toward the side that's rested, and it has done so here. Connecticut played yesterday. Seattle did not. They're the rested side. They get a 3-point boost from the opening number till now. A couple of things here. Seattle was a 17-point favorite when they were here last in Connecticut, got beat out right 93-83, only scored 9 points in the fourth quarter, got beat by 18 in the fourth quarter to lose straight up. That was a day game, I believe, Skee. Maybe one of those bright and early jobs where Seattle won. Or excuse me, Seattle walked in, huge favorite. Maybe weren't even awake for that game. But they did play back at home right after that. And Seattle, again, an 18-point favorite. Didn't cover, but they won 79-65. So this is a 6-point decrease from what we just saw earlier this month as far as line is concerned between these two. And both of those games had really different totals. Could say the morning game was 93-83, 176 points. The game in Seattle was 79-65, much more to Seattle's liking, only 144 points. That's a 32-point gap. And then when you start to look at the total, it gets, it paints a really big contrast as well. Seattle games, the last 10 that they played, 8 of those have gone under this number. I think you and I talked extensively last week about Erica Wheeler, I think, said it first, how offense is going to come and go, but we're here to play defense. And the Storm has really slowed the games down and taken to defense. So 8-2 under this particular total, tonight's number, in their last 10. Connecticut games, the exact opposite, 7-2 to the over, their last 9. So you look at pace. The last 10 games, Seattle's dead last in the league in pace. Connecticut's 11th. They're just making more shots for whatever reason. Marina Mabry was back in pretty good form yesterday for them. They seem to have a little bit more hop in their step, Connecticut does. And watching that game yesterday, I saw J.C. Sheldon, the broadcasters referred to it on the sidelines, where she was kind of imploring her teammates to play defense. And they were up. Playing defense at half court for most of that game. Can they carry it over 2 straight games? I'm not sure, but I think the pace will be slowed down here, Skee. My initial look was towards the under in this game. Connecticut's still not a great shooting team. I think they made 6 threes in the first half yesterday. That's their average per game on the season. So yesterday was a little bit of an aberration, scoring 90+. Seattle's defense, I believe, is too good to allow that to happen again, especially knowing that they allowed 93 here the last time they were on this floor. To me, the total just seems a little bit too high. Again, I think it'll be a slower pace game. Seattle's shooting has been not good whatsoever, especially Gabby's been terrible shooting threes as of late. So Seattle needs all their components to be a good offensive team. And I'll say this last thing. The last 20 quarters that Seattle has played. Now, remember, 4 of them were in one game without Skylar Diggins. But regardless of that, the last 20 quarters they've played, they've been held to less than 20 points in 15 of those. Like, their quarter totals are ridiculous. 14, 10, 13, 13, 17, 15, 12. Seattle's just not scoring at this point in time, other than the big game against Chicago where Angel and Ariel Atkins didn't play. So I think my lean here, didn't bet it, but my lean here is towards the under.
This one is it's tough. I mean, I hear what you say about the last 5 games, but what I would say to argue against that is the one game where they played a soft defense, Skylar Diggins didn't play, and we know how bad they are without her. They got to respond versus a Sky team that had absolutely nobody, and they were able to score. But the other few games, like, they played solid defensive teams. Golden State can play defense. Mystics, they played them twice. They're a solid defensive team, right? Connecticut is not that. So Connecticut has really been giving it up to everybody. But at the same time, in saying that, the 2 times they played the Storm did not reach their 83.5 team total that they're asking for tonight. So it's kind of tough for me. If I had to guess, I do think the Storm will be able to score here tonight because I think they'll be focused off a loss. That's what they've shown us on the road. And for Connecticut, my thought on them in general, like, they've been a different team throughout the season. At some parts, they were bottom dwellers, absolutely pathetic, couldn't do anything, 18-point underdogs every single game. They're not that right now. They went into the break playing really good basketball, covering. Now you've added Marina Mabry back into the lineup. That's a lot more scoring and points. And you see how they played yesterday. So this Sun team has been a lot more competitive, and it's hard to give up 12 and a half points. So for that reason, even though the Storm have been good in this situation, I did not back them. At home against the Sun, I guess I would lean a little bit more towards the Sun here, and I'll leave the total alone. That's how I feel about it. I'll share this just because I have it, and maybe it'll mean something to somebody out there. So let's put this up, and you got that, Rob Veno?
I don't yet. No.
They must have changed how the StreamYard goes. I have to manually put it on there, I guess.
There it is.
Okay. So it's pretty simple. It's going back, 10, 11 seasons, only 6 games, but unrested home dogs off of a win, 5-1 ATS, 5-1 to the over. The Mystics did just lose in that spot yesterday, but I mean, it just shows that just because they're on a back-to-back doesn't mean they can't keep it close, or at least, most teams have kept it close in that situation. So you can keep that in mind when you're making your wagers for today. Let's keep going. Last game, next game up, Liberty and Wings, open -8 for the Liberty, 8.5 or 8, depending where you shop. Total has gone up. 166.5 was the opener. See it as high as 172.5. And as far as who is available, still no Misamin for the Liberty. Stewie is also out, and Sabali. So missing a couple forwards, missing a few forwards for the Liberty out there. For the Wings, Maddie Segrist, doubtful. Sorry, doubtful. Maisha Hines-Allen, doubtful as well. And then Paige Beckers looks like she's probable for tonight after missing yesterday. So Dallas, another one of those teams on the second of a back-to-back, did not have to travel, but they did get beat down yesterday. The Liberty, they're off of a loss versus Sparks, right? I think it was 99-101, lost on a game winner, and they're without Stewie now. So it is a bounce back spot for the Liberty, but can we trust them to win by a big margin without one of their stars in the lineup? It's kind of how I'm looking at it there. And it gives me hesitation. I mean, we've talked about this team a lot, Rob, when they're missing some of those, some of the bigs who can shoot, it throws off the way they like to play. And we've seen them struggle in those situations so far this season. It's a tough game for me. I want to think both teams can score points, but at the same time, what I just explained keeps me off. So I don't know. Veno, I need some help with this game, Liberty and Wings.
Yeah, I tell you, Skee, all the notes I compiled last night, and then to find out that Breanna Stewart wasn't going to play, it kind of throws all the notes into the garbage for a couple of reasons. We'll get into them here. In my estimation, only this is my opinion, this season has not been the best offensive season for Breanna Stewart. However, she's a difference maker on defense and on the boards. There's no question. Teams try to attack the rim, and she's there, and they don't get a bucket. Or if they get one, it's not an easy bucket. And she cleans the boards. It's important here because Dallas is the number one offensive rebounding team in the league. And Dallas is number one in second chance points. I mean, it's what they do best. Fire it up there, go get the board, score off of that. And without Stewart, it just takes one of their most important rim defenders and rebounders out of the game. New York is second in defensive rebounds in the league, but they're 11th in defensive rebound percentage. So teams miss a lot of first shots, get some second shots, and then, New York clears the boards. I don't know. Without Stewart, it just makes me think that Dallas is going to succeed in what they do best as far as offense is concerned. We know they're both going to play with pace. New York's been playing with amazing pace as of late. Of course, Breanna Stewart on the break is a big part of that. Let me run you some numbers here real quick. The Liberty first half team totals as a road favorite this year. They're 5-0 with one push in their first half team total. Tonight's number is 46.5. Do you just automatically play it? Knee-jerk reaction, mechanical play, or because Stewart isn't in the game, do you back off of it? I'm not sure. Dallas is the second worst 3-point percentage defense in the league. And New York, we know they're number one in 3-point percentage shooting. That should be an advantage for New York, as should the fast break, because New York's number one in fast break points scored. Dallas is they're 11th in defending the fast break. So there's so many advantages here, but Breonna Stewart kind of throws a monkey wrench into a lot of it. At first, I really wanted to play New York -8. I thought that this would be a good spot to play them because watching them recently, they just seem connected on all levels. But again, like you said, you're going to take a big piece out of the starting lineup and you're going to put a substitute in there. Not that their subs are bad, but it makes a difference. And with Sabali out as well, Skee, it's hard to play them without any confirmation on Paige Becker's on the other side. Yesterday, she was listed as out because of rest, which led me to believe she'll play tonight. And you just said she's probable, so she should be out there. This total is going through the roof, and I don't know that I know that we like to play Dallas games over, one of the staples in my WNBA playbook. But here, I just wonder, without Stewart's offense, and then as quick as I tell myself that, I think, well, without her defense, Dallas probably scores their share. And so for me, it could be a Dallas team total in this game. New York has given up 82 per game over their last 10. So for Dallas to get there the way they play with Paige in the lineup, and we know what a difference that makes. Yesterday, it wasn't good for Dallas without Paige, but today, maybe they can get to their team total. Again, I haven't played it, but that's the way I'd look.
All right, good stuff. I think today's games are pretty tough, but we did a solid job breaking them down. So we're gonna go ahead and move it over to best bets. And actually, I always forget. Let's toss this up there. I think this is good until tomorrow to get both of our WNBA seasons. Until October when it ends, comes out to less than $3 per day. Can rock with Rob and myself for the rest of the season. And outside of that, I'm going to pass it back to you here, Rob. Best bets. If you have something else you would like to promote, feel free. And if you have a best bet, we'd love to hear it. If you don't, it's okay.
We'll go. I think the wager talk by August to get the rest of July still is in place, Skee. So if you guys are interested in the football that will be coming in August and want to purchase all access for August, you'll get the rest of July for free from Wager Talk. Go over and visit wagertalk.com. I gave you a bunch of maybes, a bunch of leans, a bunch of might be's. I didn't give you a lot of anything with conviction here today, just rattling off a lot of the analysis I did on these two games. And it didn't bring me or lead me to anything conclusive, Skee. So I'll pass on the best bets here. You never want to lead the chat in a direction that you're not taking yourself. So for me, I'll just take a pass here. And maybe later something will come up. If it does, to be fair, I'll probably go ahead and tweet it out. But right now, no best bet.
Yeah, Kylie, you listening today? Kylie says, no confidence on the show. Stay away today. These games, they don't seem so great as far as betting. I mean, numbers have moved on a few of them, or, a couple numbers have moved. And at the current numbers, I don't have a play that I love to give out. I haven't made any bets myself. So I do want to give you guys a banger the next one I do give out. And tomorrow, things are looking up. So I'm going to pass today on best bets as well. Tomorrow we'll have some better stuff to talk about. There are 3 games there. And it sucks to not have a best bet for the show, but it's better than giving you a couple losers just to give them out. So Veno, like I always say, I appreciate you taking the time to break these games down with me. Everybody in the chat, appreciate y'all tapping in and sharing your insights and just having a good time over here. Everybody outside of the YouTube chat, whether it's Twitch, X, YouTube Shorts, Kick, Spotify, Apple. We appreciate all of you guys tuning in. Like I said, we'll be back here tomorrow. Good luck if you get involved today, and we will catch you tomorrow.